22 Mind-Blowing Facts About Estonia, a unique country in Euro. Number 22. The island where men don't belong. This no men allowed island is real, and it's located right in the middle of modern Europe. It's called Kihnu Island, a small island in Estonia, about 6 miles from the mainland. Kihnu covers just about 6.3 square miles, much smaller than many rural towns in the U.S. But what happens on this island has fascinated people around the world. Here, women run almost every aspect of society, while men rarely, if ever, take part in daily life. It's not because of any laws, but simply because for hundreds of years, Kihnu men have spent months at sea on the Baltic, fishing and hunting seals, leaving the entire island for women to manage. That's how Kihnu became a matriarchal society. Women do everything here. On Kihnu, they drive tractors, look after the lighthouse, organize funerals, teach children, care for the land, and make all the major decisions for the village. Elderly women with their heads wrapped in scarves and wearing bright red striped wool skirts are not just grandmothers or mothers. They are the ones with the highest authority. Here, power doesn't come from titles or money, but from life experience. If you're used to seeing Western feminism in offices, on protest signs, or on social media, Kihnu is a completely different world. Power here is born out of the need to survive, not from ideology. What makes Kihnu truly fascinating are the little details. The women on the island wear traditional clothing every day, not just to put on a show for tourists. The color of a skirt can tell you if a woman is married, in mourning, or celebrating a festival. Children grow up learning both the regular school curriculum and ancient pre-Christian rune songs in the Kihnu dialect, a language variant that even most mainland Estonians don't understand. Music, dance, rituals, they're not locked away in museums, but are alive in kitchens, backyards, and village gatherings. It's no surprise that in 2003, UNESCO recognized Kihnu culture as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity, and the BBC once called it Europe's last matriarchy. But the Kihnu people themselves put it simply. We're not extreme feminists. We just do what's necessary for our community to survive. Today, the island welcomes tourists, both men and women, of course. Visitors to Kihnu will enjoy the peaceful and quiet atmosphere. The climate seems gentler here. You can reach the island by ferry or plane. Flights depart from Pärnu Airport with seasonal schedules. In winter, there's only one flight per day, so it's best to check the schedule and book tickets online or by phone in advance. Number 21. Tallinn Airport, one of Europe's best. Most people visit Estonia by cruise ship, but if you fly in, you'll quickly notice that Tallinn Airport stands out from the rest. It's a small airport serving about 3 million passengers a year, yet it's consistently rated by both the media and travelers as more pleasant, friendly, and memorable than many bigger airports. Skytrax, Condé Nast Traveler, and other major European travel outlets have often ranked Tallinn Airport among the best small airports in Europe. As soon as you enter the terminal, you'll feel the difference. The distance from security to your gate is usually just 1,600 feet. For Americans, that's like walking from the parking lot to the gate at a quiet regional airport like Aspen, not trekking over a mile like at LAX or Atlanta. There's no overwhelming advertising. Instead, you'll find very human touches. There's a real airport library where passengers can read, borrow, and exchange books freely. No cards, no paperwork. Next to it is a business card wall, where strangers can connect in a surprisingly analog way in our digital age. These two features are often highlighted by popular travel YouTube channels as rare examples of trust-based design in airport infrastructure. Tallinn Airport also scores points with small but thoughtful details. Benches long enough to lie down on, free blankets and pillows for those waiting, an outdoor terrace past security with runway views, and a minimalist wooden kids' play area to keep things quiet. When it comes to the flying experience, Tallinn Airport mainly serves Nordic and Baltic airlines, which are famous for their punctuality, clean cabins, and calm service style. Many travelers say the flight attendants here are polite, efficient, and low-key, true to the Nordic spirit. For first-time visitors to Estonia, the airport is also practical. There's reliable free Wi-Fi, fast check-in, and it's only about 10 miles to the city center. Have you ever been through an airport that actually made you feel less stressed? If so, share its name in the comments and tell us, what do you think makes an airport truly good? Number 20. One of the smartest nations in the world. Hidden along the Baltic Sea, Estonia might not be the first country that comes to mind when you think of Europe. But don't let its modest size, about 7,500 square miles, the same as West Virginia, fool you. Estonia has over 2,000 miles of coastline and more than 2,300 islands, so many that even locals haven't explored them all. Estonia borders the Baltic Sea, Russia, and Latvia, and it's just a short ferry ride from Finland. It's a bridge between East and Northern Europe, both geographically and culturally. The climate here is continental. Winters can be bitterly cold, sometimes dropping to 20 degrees, but summers are as mild as April in New England, with average temperatures around 68 Eastern. And here's something special. Over 50% of Estonia is covered by forest, so you're only a 15-minute walk from the center of Tallinn to a real fairy tale forest. With just over 1.3 million people, fewer than Phoenix, Arizona, Estonia is one of the smartest countries in Europe. The main ethnic group is native Estonian, Finnic origin, but about 25% of the population is Russian. Interestingly, Estonian, the official language, is closer to Finnish than Russian, making language learning here pretty unique. In fact, Estonian is considered one of the 10 hardest languages to learn. So learning Estonian is a challenge, but it's not the only one. Estonians are also famous for their dry sense of humor, often using irony and sarcasm in their jokes, which can be confusing for outsiders. Number 19. Estonia's only official clothing-optional beach. Just less than 1.5 miles from the Russian border to the southwest, Narva-Jõesuu is Estonia's only officially recognized clothing-optional beach. With nearly 1.5 miles of fine white sand, nestled between ancient pine forests and the gentle Baltic Sea, it feels like a natural spa. During peak season from June to August, you'll be surprised to see more foreigners than locals here. Narva-Jõesuu comes alive in its own way. No one wears clothes or even covers up much. Along the long stretch of white sand, you'll see locals strolling, international tourists sunbathing, and some people playing in the refreshing Baltic waves. The beach is clearly marked, officially recognized by local authorities, and has been protected by the naturist community for years. This transparency makes Narva-Jõesuu a safe destination, free from the prying eyes often found at unofficial beaches elsewhere. That's why Narva-Jõesuu has become a favorite spot for visitors from Germany, Finland, and Sweden, countries with a long tradition of embracing nature. Number 18. World Cleanup Day started here. Few would guess that the world's biggest cleanup campaign didn't start in the US, wasn't launched by an environmental superpower, but began in tiny Estonia with just over 1.3 million people. On the morning of May 3, 2008, while most people still saw trash pickup as a job for the local government, Estonia organized an event called Let's Do It 2008. No big stage, no celebrities, no live TV. In just 5 hours, over 50,000 volunteers, from students and office workers to retirees, spread out across forests, beaches, roadsides, and illegal dumps, collecting about 10,000 tons of trash. That's 4% of the country's population stopping what they were doing, putting on jackets and gloves, and picking up litter all on the same day, a rate even the largest community campaigns in the U.S. rarely achieve. No cash prizes, no pressure, no flashy slogans. Just a simple, very Estonian question, passed from person to person. If not now, then when? What's special isn't just the amount of trash collected, but how organized everything was. Before cleanup day, people used digital maps to mark every trash site, from old tires in the woods to piles of debris behind abandoned warehouses. Volunteers signed up online, got specific coordinates, and knew exactly where to go, what to pick up, and where to bring the trash. But we all know trash isn't just an Estonian problem, it's everywhere. From Estonia, this movement spread worldwide as Let's Do It World, headquartered in Tallinn. Today, World Cleanup Day takes place every September 20th, drawing over 110 countries and about 13 million participants. The United Nations has recognized World Cleanup Day as a global initiative, but its roots are still clearly Estonian. Less talk, quick action, real results. Chances are your country has already held this cleanup day on a beach, in a park, or in your neighborhood, and you might not even know it started here. But for Estonia, picking up trash was never the end goal. The next question quickly came up. After we pick it up, what do we do with it? That's how creative reuse initiatives started, like Trash to Trend, where waste becomes material for sustainable fashion. Designer Reet Aus collects discarded clothing from factories, redesigns them, and sells the collections on the international market. Number 17. Land of Women. You may have heard of countries with too many men like China or India, but Estonia is one of the countries with the highest percentage of women in the world. According to the latest statistics, women make up about 53.5% of Estonia's population. So for every 100 people, nearly 54 are female. That might not sound like much, but in a country of just 1.3 million, that's nearly 70,000 more women than men, a significant number. What's interesting is that this gap isn't evenly spread, but is most obvious in big cities like Tallinn and Tartu, where women tend to live longer, are more educated, and often live independently, either unmarried or as single mothers. In fact, the average life expectancy for Estonian women is 83 years, while for men it's just about 74, a nearly 9-year difference, one of the highest in Europe. And if you're looking for a place that's truly by women for women, visit Kinu Island in western Estonia. This UNESCO-recognized intangible cultural heritage site is where women manage traditions, families, and the community, while men are often away fishing for weeks or even months. Here, you'll see women in traditional skirts, riding motorbikes, singing folk songs, running the local market, and keeping the cultural flame alive for generations. Kinu is known as the Island of Women, a rare, miniature, matriarchal society in modern Europe. Do you think this is a paradise? Want to hear more about the strengths of Estonian women? Comment 4 below, or want some tips on winning their hearts? Comment 8. We'll share more with you. Number 16. A country so clean, it imports trash. Estonia isn't just famous for its digital society, it's also one of the cleanest countries in Europe. According to the 2023 World Air Quality Report, ICER, Estonia ranks among the top 5 countries for clean air, with average PM 2.5 levels at just 4.7 UM/, 6 times lower than the U.S. average of about 12 UM/. In the capital, Tallinn, the air is even cleaner, thanks to free public transportation and limits on cars in the Old Town, making it a rare green city. Here's the twist. Estonia is so clean, it actually runs out of trash. Yes, you heard that right. The Iru power plant near Tallinn can process up to 260,000 tons, about 173 million pounds, of trash a year to produce electricity and heat for residents. But because people recycle and sort trash so well, Estonia only generates about 396 million pounds, so the plant has to import extra trash from Finland, Ireland, and the UK. Importantly, Estonia only brings in non-hazardous, hard-to-recycle trash for clean burning, meeting European environmental standards. This isn't just random trash buying, it's part of a circular economy strategy where waste is seen as a resource for energy. Number 15. Love comes at a price in Estonia. In Estonia, love isn't the rosy fairy tale you see in Nordic movies. It's practical, thrifty, and often heavily influenced by money. Expensive isn't just about the cost of living in Tallinn, which is on par with many Western European cities, but also about the economic, social, and even invisible barriers couples face to get married. That's why a seemingly odd story appeared, the High Price of Love contest organized by Uno Radio. The contest attracted over 100 couples across Estonia, but only 12 made it to the finals. The prize was described as a dream wedding, worth more than 2 months' average Estonian salary, a big enough number that low-income couples saw it as their only chance to marry soon. The judges were young Estonians, half from Uno, half from an event company. They weren't looking for wealth, but for the ideal couple, people who truly loved each other and were ready to prove it. The first challenge took place in a Tallinn nightclub. Couples had to dress up as Soviet-era cartoon characters, dance all night, and show the judges how passionate they were. The next week, they joined a fashion show, where their confidence and chemistry were closely judged. Sounds like a reality show in America? Yes, but here, the prize wasn't fame, but the opportunity to get married. Two couples represented two very different Estonias. Mario and Marika lived in downtown Tallinn, owned their own apartment, drove a BMW, worked in modern environments, and believed that after joining the EU, Estonia was a land of opportunity, much like the American middle-class dream. Meanwhile, Andris and Siri represented a quieter Estonia. He was a police officer. She worked at a women's prison. Their total income was only about 990 a month, and for them, the prize wasn't about showing off. It was their only hope for a wedding. I knew I loved her when I started thinking about her every day, Andris said. Siri was even simpler. When my heart told me he's the one I want to spend my life with. Estonia is changing fast. Tallinn is becoming more like Western European capitals, but in rural areas, many families still work harder than ever just to get by. Uno's contest wasn't just a radio show, it was a mirror of society. Love exists at every level, but the ability to get married is not equal for everyone. Number 14. Men put their wives on top. Although this contest originated in Finland, Estonia is the country that made it legendary. From 1998 to 2008, Estonian couples won the wife-carrying world championship year after year, dominating the quirky sport. The secret? They use a special technique called the Estonian carry, where the wife hangs upside down on her husband's back, legs wrapped over his shoulders, arms holding his waist. It may sound strange, but this position distributes weight perfectly, keeps balance, and helps you reach the finish line fast. The race is 8 to 20 feet long, with mud pits, wooden barriers, and a deep water pool. So you need not just strength, but perfect teamwork. The prize? The winner gets their wife's weight in beer. Yes, if your wife weighs 120 pounds, you get 120 pounds of beer. Even better, the contest isn't just for married couples. You can compete with your girlfriend, a friend, or even a temporary hire, as long as the wife is over 17 and weighs at least 108 pounds. In Estonia and neighboring Baltic countries, wife carrying isn't just a serious world championship. It's also part of local festivals, family sports days, and summer events as a fun group game. Organizers often allow all kinds of carrying: women carrying men, friends carrying each other, or taking turns over short segments. The course is shorter, obstacles simpler. Just wet grass, shallow mud, or a small pond to keep things safe and encourage beginners. Winning isn't the main thing. Instead, everyone focuses on teamwork, humor, and having fun. There are even bonus prizes for most creative carry, best teamwork, or most memorable finish. What do you think of this contest? Would you like to try it with your partner? If yes, comment 3. If not, comment 10. Thanks for your feedback. Number 13. Paradise for parents, not for marriage. Estonia is known as a paradise for young parents, with some of the most generous parental leave policies in Europe, even better than in wealthy countries like Germany or the UK. Either parent can take up to 82 weeks, almost a year and a half, off with 100% of their previous year's average salary, up to about $4,000 a month. Fathers also get a separate 30 days of paid leave, which doesn't affect the mother's time off, a clear sign of gender equality. After this, families still receive monthly child support, increasing with each child, and even when the child turns 3, support continues. In the U.S., parents often have to return to work after just a few weeks with no federal support. But in Estonia, you can raise your child and stay financially stable without worry. But here's the surprise. In Estonia, marriage isn't required to be a parent. Many couples live together and raise kids without getting married. In fact, Estonia has the highest rate of single parents in Europe, and also one of the highest divorce rates. About 50% of marriages end, ranking 12th in the world for divorce-marriage ratio. But here, that's not seen as a tragedy. In a mostly non-religious society, Estonians see divorce or living unmarried as a normal personal choice, a right to happiness in your own way. Number 12. Singing helped Estonia win independence. Estonians have one of the world's largest collections of folk songs, with tens of thousands passed down through generations. When Estonia was under Soviet control, music, seemingly harmless, became the safest way to keep national identity alive when all other symbols were restricted. From 1986 to 1991, in public squares and especially at the Song Festival grounds in Tallinn, hundreds of thousands of Estonians gathered to sing national and folk songs. At times, about 300,000 people, almost a quarter of Estonia's population then, stood together singing in the open air. For Americans, imagine 80 million people gathering just to sing about freedom and identity. No radical slogans, no violence, just melodies everyone knew since childhood. But the government's organized silence in the face of these gatherings showed that they couldn't suppress a crowd that was just singing. This became known as the Singing Revolution. It didn't happen in a day, but lasted 5 years like a steady current. Every time Estonians sang together, they sent a clear message. We still exist as a people. The movement spread to Latvia and Lithuania, becoming a rare wave of peaceful resistance in modern European history. When the Soviet Union weakened, these songs, once seen as mere cultural expressions, became the spiritual foundation for Estonia's Declaration of Independence in 1991. Estonia didn't invent music to make a revolution. They just used what was already a part of daily life. In a society where everyone sings, from children to the elderly, music isn't just a performance art, it's a common language. That's why, when hundreds of thousands sing together, it's not just a concert, it's a political statement without speeches. The singing revolution later inspired many international works, including the 2006 American documentary, The Singing Revolution, which tells how a small nation used culture to stand up to an empire. Number 11. Free camping anywhere in Estonia. It's not Sweden or Canada, but Estonia that's a true wild camping paradise for everyone, locals and tourists alike. Here you can pitch a tent among endless pine forests, roast potatoes by a crystal-clear lake, and still video call home, because 4G Wi-Fi covers even the most remote woods. What sounds like a tech commercial is just everyday life in Estonia. The RMCO, Estonia State Forest Management Center, has set up over 100 free wild camping sites across the country. Each site usually has a rain shelter, eco-toilet, outdoor fireplace, wooden tables and benches, and information boards, so you can enjoy nature without harming the environment. And best of all, it's all free. And because Estonia is one of the world's most digital societies, you can sit by your tent and file taxes, vote, sign business contracts, or even run a global company, all with your digital ID card. Estonia was the first country in the world to allow online voting in 2005, and every government procedure, from divorce to starting a company, can be done online, even while you're grilling sausages in the woods. Number 10. Friendship Day. While many countries celebrate Valentine's Day on February 14th with roses, chocolates, and romantic gestures, in Estonia and Finland, this day has a special twist. It's Friendship Day. Instead of focusing only on couples, Estonians use February 14th to show appreciation for friends, coworkers, teachers, and loved ones, regardless of gender or romantic relationship. On this day, you'll see Happy Friendship Day cards exchanged between students, coworkers, or longtime neighbors. Small gifts like chocolate, books, flowers, or simple tokens of affection are given, not fancy, but meaningful. Interestingly, even though it's called Friendship Day, Estonia has the highest number of weddings on February 14th each year. Maybe it's this open-minded view of relationships that makes the day perfect for both friends and couples to celebrate together. Number 9. A nation of book lovers. If there's a place in the world where books are treasured like gold, libraries are respected like temples, and reading is seen as a daily ritual, it's Estonia. According to the latest Eurostat survey, Estonia ranks second among 20 countries for reading culture. The average Estonian household owns 218 books, the highest in the world, even more than wealthy countries like Germany, France, or Sweden. It's no surprise to see elderly people quietly reading on park benches in Tallinn, or cozy bookstores like Rava Raamat, the country's largest and most famous chain. Estonia has about 870 libraries serving the community, from public libraries and school libraries to research centers and the National Library. This deep reading culture is one reason Estonia has the highest educational achievements in Europe. The literacy rate is 99.89%, an impressive number even compared to developed countries. In the 2021 OECD rankings, Estonia was first in reading, second in science, and third in math among developed nations, beating Finland, Poland, and Germany. The University of Tartu, Estonia's most prestigious school, is in the top 500 universities worldwide. Number 8. Estonian kids learn to identify mushrooms at school. In Estonia, education is considered one of the world's most successful systems. Estonian students consistently rank at the top in Europe for math, science, and reading, and the country leads in IT, fintech, cybersecurity, AI, and digital management. But what surprises many foreigners is that Estonian kids don't grow up under heavy academic pressure. Besides 21st century core subjects, they also learn a skill that seems almost prehistoric: how to identify and pick mushrooms in the forest. Yes, in Estonia, mushroom picking isn't just a weekend activity. It's part of education and daily life. In elementary schools, especially in rural areas, students go into the woods with teachers or local rangers. They don't just grab whatever looks good. First, they learn to distinguish edible from poisonous mushrooms, study the cap, stem, spore color, and growing environment. Some lessons require students to draw mushrooms, note their smell, moisture, and compare two similar-looking species, one edible, one dangerously toxic. For Americans, imagine students being taught to identify poisonous plants in national parks. But in Estonia, this is everyday knowledge. Gathering goes beyond mushrooms. In spring, kids and families learn to identify wild garlic for pesto or to mix with fresh cheese and butter. Early summer is birch sap season for a traditional drink called kasmal. From mid-July to October, Estonian forests and bogs are full of berries and mushrooms. There are even professional foraging tours, where guides teach sustainable harvesting and how to dry, pickle, or store food for the long, cold winter. This isn't extreme survival, it's basic life knowledge. This philosophy doesn't stop at school or home. Estonia's fine dining scene relies heavily on seasonal wild ingredients. Many top restaurants and chefs' tables serve dishes made from wild mushrooms, berries, and herbs picked that very day. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, you can still taste Estonian nature on your plate. Number 7. Life in Tallinn. Nestled on the Baltic coast, Tallinn is one of the best preserved medieval cities in Europe. Cobblestone streets wind around 13th century buildings. More than 20 fairy tale towers still stand, and a rare Hanseatic architectural system has survived wars and politics. In 1997, Tallinn's Old Town was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a must-see for anyone exploring mysterious Europe. In winter, when snow covers the central square, Tallinn becomes a living fairy tale, perfect for hours of wandering. English-language historical signs are everywhere, telling stories of knights, merchants, and medieval sieges. When you're tired, you can duck into a small cafe, order hot chocolate, and watch the snow fall outside, soaking up the peace of old Europe. But what really sets Tallinn apart is its modern side, especially public transportation. It's one of the few capitals in the world with 100% free public transit for residents. Yes, getting around the city is completely free. Buses, trams, and trolleybuses run regularly, on time, are clean, and cover almost the whole city. This policy saves people money, reduces car use and pollution, and changes habits. For many in Tallinn, not owning a car isn't about being poor, it's just unnecessary. Tallinn's culture reflects Estonia's spirit. People are often labeled not smiley, but in reality they just respect personal space and privacy. No one forces you to chat for fun. Short, direct conversations are valued more than long, small talk. Tallinn's friendliness is in the actions, giving precise directions, standing in orderly lines, and keeping quiet on public transit. The city is clean and orderly, but not cold. It's just not noisy. Number 6. Estonia, one of the least religious countries. Statistically, Estonia is often ranked among the least religious countries in the world. Most Estonians don't believe in God in the Christian sense, don't go to church, and aren't involved with any religious group. But what really surprises people is this. Atheism in Estonia doesn't mean no spirituality. In fact, Estonians reject organized religion, but have a deep faith in nature. Yes, you heard that right. While many societies see forests as just economic resources, Estonians still see forests as living beings. According to Nordic social value surveys, about 69% of people believe that forests, ancient trees, or natural landscapes have a spirit, or at least special spiritual value. This isn't religion. There's no Bible, no clergy, no required rituals. But a quiet, persistent belief rooted in pre-Christian traditions that existed long before Christianity arrived in the Baltic. In old Estonian culture, forests weren't something to conquer, but places to treat with care. Some ancient trees are considered sacred and can't be cut down, whether on public or private land. Many people still speak quietly in the woods, don't break branches for no reason, and avoid disturbing spiritually sensitive areas, not because of laws, but because it just feels wrong. What's remarkable is that these beliefs haven't disappeared as Estonia became a digital leader in Europe. Instead, they exist side by side, a society with e-government, online voting, and tech startups, but still keeping seasonal festivals, light celebrations, and natural cycles. Number 5. Sauna culture. Estonia has over 100,000 saunas, with a population of just about 1.3 million. That means almost every family has their own sauna, or at least regular access to one. In many rural areas, you'll see small wooden houses by lakes, where people burn wood to heat big stones, then pour water on them for steam. A simple but incredibly refreshing experience. Saunas in Estonia are similar to those in Finland and Latvia, but the approach is less formal and ritualistic. Finnish saunas are strict about temperature and routines, but Estonian saunas are more relaxed and flexible. People sauna with friends, family, and neighbors, talking, being silent, or just sitting and breathing. Using birch branches to gently whip the skin isn't seen as an ancient ritual, but just a normal way to boost blood circulation. What's special is that in the sauna, all social boundaries disappear. No rich or poor, no ranks or ages. It's a place of total equality, a very Estonian concept. Unlike other European countries where saunas are rare treats, Estonians fit sauna into daily city life. Even city apartments often have mini saunas for a few people, so the habit can continue every day or a few times a week. What really makes Estonia unique is how they turn sauna into part of sports and tourism. The best example is the European Sauna Marathon held every February in Otepää. Over 1,000 participants move between about 20 different saunas in freezing winter weather, mixing steam with dashes into icy water. For many tourists, this is a crazy experience. 1 minute you're in a sauna at over 175 or 195 degrees. The next you're jumping into snow or lake near freezing. Elsewhere, that's an extreme sport. In Estonia, it's a festival. Compared to other countries, Estonian saunas are less commercial, less flashy, and use fewer fancy oils. They're closer to nature, daily life, and community spirit. Number 4. Festivals all year round. In winter, the Christmas markets in Tartu, or small towns like Viljandi, feel like stepping into a storybook. Cute wooden stalls, the smell of cinnamon, gingerbread, and hot mulled wine warm visitors in the snowy, painting-like scenery. When the snow melts and spring arrives, the Voru Folklore Festival in June brings music and dance performances from around the world. Visitors can try on traditional Estonian costumes, learn to dance the polka, and join a giant outdoor party that lasts until midnight, thanks to the Baltic's midnight sun. In July, Estonia hosts one of its biggest and most impressive cultural events, Laulupidu. Recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage, this festival features over 30,000 people singing together in a massive choir, an unforgettable musical experience. Autumn brings the Lantern Festival in Rakvere, where thousands of lanterns light up the old streets, creating a magical scene like a Nordic Harry Potter movie. And if you're here in summer, don't miss the Saaremaa Opera Days, where you can enjoy world-class opera in a medieval castle on the island. Number 3. A traveler's paradise. Start your journey at Saaremaa, Estonia's largest island. Here, you'll find Dutch-style windmills, old fishing villages, and the 14th century Kuressaare Castle, a rare, well-preserved fortress in northern Europe. The fresh air and slow pace make this feel like a hidden paradise in the Baltic. Head north to Lahemaa National Park, Estonia's largest national park, about 1.5 hours drive from Tallinn. It's perfect for hiking through pine forests, peat bogs, and old manor houses like Palmsey and Sagadi. In fall, the colors here are as beautiful as New England. Don't miss Hiiumaa Island, famous for the Kapu Lighthouse, one of the world's oldest still in use, built in the 16th century. You can bike around the island, enjoy the untouched atmosphere, and listen to legends tied to each forest and wave. For those who love academics and art, Tartu, Estonia's second-largest city, is a must. With the University of Tartu founded in 1632, unique museums and creative street art, it's a hipster city with a classic touch. Tartu was chosen as the European Capital of Culture for 2024, reflecting its sustainable and innovative spirit. Number 2. A food lover's heaven. If you love the delicate flavors of Swedish food or the heartiness of German dishes, Estonia offers a blend of both, with a unique Estonian twist. A traditional Estonian meal centers on simple but nutritious ingredients: potatoes, barley, pork, pickled herring, and wild mushrooms. In winter, Verivurst, blood sausage with sauerkraut and mashed potatoes, is a must-have, like Estonian Thanksgiving. If you love baked goods, try karesk, a barley bread without yeast. What makes Estonian cuisine special is the use of seasonal wild ingredients: blueberries, lingonberries, and rare chanterelle mushrooms, making every meal an adventure through northern forests. And if you think Estonia only has simple traditional food, visit Tallinn, now one of the Baltic's most creative food capitals. Many restaurants here are listed in the Michelin Guide and serve incredible fusion dishes, mixing classic Estonian flavors with modern techniques. Number 1. Cost of living in Estonia. The cost of living in Estonia is one of the reasons this small country is so attractive, especially for those coming from the US or Western Europe. Our rent is the biggest expense, but still reasonable compared to American cities. A one-bedroom apartment in downtown Tallinn costs about $600–800 a month, while in the suburbs or smaller cities, it's only $400–600. If you want to save, sharing an apartment or renting a homestay is very popular, especially for foreigners working remotely. Food costs are also quite affordable. A standard lunch at a casual restaurant is about $10 to $12, while you can cook at home for just $200. $250 a month if you shop at chains like Rimi, Selver, or Maxima. Estonia's vegetables and dairy products are known for being fresh and cheap, a big plus for healthy lifestyles. Getting around won't break the bank either. A bus or tram ticket in Tallinn is only about $1.50, and city residents get public transportation completely free, a rare policy in Europe. A monthly transit pass for foreigners costs about $30, both and $35. All in all, if you're an American living in Estonia, your average monthly cost of living will be around $1,200 or $500. With this cost, do you think Estonia is a place you'd want to visit or move to? If yes, comment 1. If not, comment 0. We'll share some tips to help you save money in Estonia. If you're really interested in coming here, comment 7. And we'll share info on visas and other requirements for visiting Estonia. We've just explored the beautiful land of Estonia together. Thank you for watching today's travel documentary until the end. We hope you'll continue to join us on our next journeys to discover the wonders of the world.